Hey, everybody. Just a word of warning, guys. Feeling a little bit under the weather. Um, I'm trying to stay spry and into it and all that, and I still want to do this watch along tonight. Um, so I hate to be kind of a negative Nancy, but I am running a fever right now. So just if I seem a little bit out of it at certain points in times. Just bear with me. Like I said, I really wanted to do this tonight. Didn't want to postpone it. So I feel like I can sit back here and conduct this watch along properly and still be running a fever. So you guys like my shirt? I picked this up at Walmart yesterday just on a whim. I don't know why. I think I like the tie dye and stuff like that. um, the cow skull is kind of a little gruesome, but I just like the way it was set up, and I thought, well, I'll wear it on the stream tonight. I didn't wear it last night because I already had my um, Darcy shirt for the last drive-in. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Blissful. Thanks, Texas. And thank you, Texas, for putting in there that if you have Netflix, the Animal House is available on there. So for those of you that don't, Steve got me the Steelbook 4K of it, but I'm playing the Blu-ray, of course, in my player because I don't have a 4K player back here. So um, if you don't have your own copy of it and you do have a subscription to Netflix, then by all means, thanks to Texas, you have that heads up that Animal House is on Netflix. Um, it really is, and it was something that started like I didn't have it this morning. I didn't have it in the middle of the day. It was like sometime early afternoon, I started feeling kind of yucky. And so then I went and checked my temp, and that's when I found out I had the fever. Hence, you may notice a little flush to my cheeks. You can't really see my eyes that good unless I have my hat up. And I wear glasses, but my eyes might be a little glassy because they tend to get that way whenever I'm running a fever. Hey, Darren. Uh, Texas, you said I was ready to play my DVD, but then Jimmy said it's on Netflix. Yeah, it might be easier just to, I think we all get to that point where, like, me and Steve both have like tons of physical media. But what the streaming services have done to us is kind of made us lazy. It's like, why get up and come all the way back here and get a movie when we can just like bring it up on one of the streaming services, Shutter, Netflix, whatever. Um, and so we tend to do that a lot, unless there's something specific that we want to watch or a version that we want to watch that's only on the physical media that we have. In which case, we will come back here and get the damn thing. Um, but again, despite the fever, I want to do this watch along. So I am here with you guys for the duration. I wasn't going to poop out on you or whatever. So once again, I have my Orville Redenbacher movie theater popcorn in my popcorn tub. I have another energy drink. This is a bucked up energy drink that has the deer on them. I don't know if these are in everybody's neck of the woods, but they are available in our neck of the woods. So this is like a bomb pop, Liberty pop, rocket pop, whatever you want to call it, flavor. And they're actually pretty good. So I heard a noise and I was like, did the wind just suddenly start blowing? But I think it was some traffic out on the road or street. Um, and you know me, guys, I get easily distracted by different things. Also, I may have to go back and check on Brandon because, as I've said, old man Brandon, he has mobility issues. And so sometimes he tries to get up and he falls over on his side and can't get himself back up again. And so I may have to periodically, if I hear a lot of noise in there, go and check on him and pick him up. If, of course, if Sammy starts howling, I'll have to go in there and try to get him calmed down. Um, First of all, if anybody wants to join me live on the stream tonight, feel free. Uncle Bill surprised me last night. He wasn't there at the beginning, but a few minutes into Eyes of a Stranger, Uncle Bill showed up backstage, and we had a really good time. We talked about the movie a little bit, but we also talked about other things, and so that was a really good time. And I told him he's welcome to show up tonight. I don't know that he will or that he will be able to. I don't know if Dead Pit's got anything going on tonight. Um, I used to be able to keep up with all that, but I can barely keep up with my stuff. And, I love to watch those guys. Um, and I love to watch a lot of other people and what they're doing. But it seems like I just don't have the time to keep up with everybody anymore. I'm subscribed to a lot of different people. But let's see, what else did I want to bring up? Well, if you guys need me to repost that StreamYard invite into the chat, I will do that. Just ask. A little bit more information that I found out when I was watching a video a little bit earlier, somebody else's video a little bit earlier today. I know Blissful, you said that you weren't getting notifications. Kelly said that she was not getting notifications. There might be others that are not getting notifications. I did notice something that I didn't notice with that bell notification. Of course, I can't see it on my own videos, but I can see it when I'm on other people's videos where the bell notification is there and it says, if you're subscribed, it'll say subscribe. But if you hit that drop down arrow beside the bell notification where it says subscribe, you can pick to get all notifications or just only highlights and all of that. So for those of you that are not getting notifications, I would check the bell notification and see if you're set to get all notifications, just to be on the safe side so you don't miss anything that you would potentially want to watch from me or anybody else. So, other than that, I'm going to show a few things when I get to the Daily Grindhouse here in a minute. But I did want to bring up the drive-in movie nights that I'm going to be doing for the next few Fridays while the last drive-in is on hiatus for a few weeks. Okay, they're going to be on hiatus, I think, until almost in January, June 23rd. So if you watch the show this past Friday, that's the last show for a little bit. It's not going away forever. They're just going on hiatus for a little bit. Yeah, Texas, like EB says, I don't want you to. I don't want you to. Exactly. Blizzard, you say I'm finally getting all my notifications. YouTube has been acting so odd lately. Yeah, I really think that the majority of the problem was with YouTube. YouTube's been causing a lot of different problems for a lot of different people in a lot of different areas. Um, for those of you that weren't in here last night when Uncle Bill and I were talking, um, and haven't seen Garrett's video today that he did this afternoon, it turns out that Garrett got demonetized. And out of all the people on YouTube, I would have never dreamed that Garrett would have got demonetized. Okay. And according to Garrett's video today, he still doesn't know what happened. He said he got an email from YouTube on Monday telling him that he had been demonetized, or his channel had been demonetized, because his content went against community guidelines for YouTube. And it's like, he had been in contact with them. He'd ask them, he's like, can you please tell me what content it was that went against the guidelines and I'll take it off? And they couldn't tell him. Now, to me, that's akin, and I said this last night, this is akin to the MPAA not telling people what they needed to take out of a movie to make sure they got an R rating as opposed to an X rating. It's like, if you've got bots doing this crap and causing people to be demonetized, and you know that these bots could make errors, then don't use the damn bots. That, of course, YouTube might jerk me off of here for saying something against them, but this is getting ridiculous. That people who are really not doing anything but putting enjoyable content out there are getting punished left and right. People's channels are getting deleted with no fair warning. People are getting demonetized with no warning. It is really ridiculous. And I know that Garrett was saying, just all you other content creators, he was saying, be careful. Just be careful. Because evidently anybody, it's like Joe Bob says, anybody can die at any moment in a horror movie, okay? Well, it seems that anybody can be punished on YouTube at a moment's notice, without any warning. YouTube used to give you warnings. Now it's just like, gone, demonetized. So if you guys that are in here tonight are doing any content on YouTube, I would just like to reiterate what Garrett said this afternoon, and that is to be very, very careful. Because if somebody like Garrett can get demonetized, it could happen to anybody, literally. Hey, Mayor. Mayor says, warning, Dana, warning. Yes, Texas, I agree. That was so messed up. It really was. Mayor, you said, what? I didn't know that Joe Ball was going on hiatus. Yeah, Steve told me it wasn't anything, because I got fearful that maybe Shudder was trying to save money or something, and that the last drive-in would eventually go away. And Steve was like, no, they're not going away for good. He said, remember when I told you that they were going to kind of break up the season a little bit? And also, what's good about it is it will give Joe Bob and Darcy and all the other people that work on the last drive-in a chance to re-energize and come back fresh. And I see that there are good points, but the mutant fam's going to really miss them for the next few weeks. But because of that, I am planning on doing in these interim weeks where the last drive-in will not be on. The next like 4 Fridays. And this is kind of a test run too, because if this seems popular, then even when the last drive-in comes back, of course I won't do it on Fridays because I don't want to conflict with them. But I will pick another day to do these drive-in movie nights. So it's kind of like a fill-in for the last drive-in. And again, I'm not affiliated with Shudder. I'm not affiliated with the last drive-in. I was not asked to do this. I'm not a popular enough person that somebody would ask me to do this. I am just doing this of my own free will, just because I want to try something new. Okay. So these things will be pretty much like the watch alongs I do on the weekend. And, I won't be able to stream the movie. Or movies, because these are going to be double features, just like the last drive-in. Okay. And they aren't going to start until 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys that, can't stay up late, or, for whatever reason, maybe you got work on the weekends or whatever, might have to watch them later, or maybe you can watch the first movie and participate in the watch along and maybe wait on the second movie. Okay. And the whole reason why I'm starting them at 8 instead of 7 is because this first week, the 26th, I have to work the evening shift at my work. So I won't get off until 7 p.m. Eastern time. So rather than change around times, I just keep it at 8 o'clock all the time. If that proves to not be such a hot idea, I can always push it back to 7 the following Friday, which is June 2nd. Okay. So the first couple of movies I'm going to be doing the drive-in movie night for are Halloween 3 and Creepshow. And it's going to be Darcy Appreciation Night. And so far, Shudder has not been able to show Halloween 3 on the last drive-in. I don't know if it's a rights issue or what. I figure that's what the issue is, of why they can't show it. But I know Darcy has been wanting that to be on the last drive-in for a long, long time. Okay. And plus, she loves Tom Atkins. So I thought, if I have a double feature, what do I want to put with this? And I could have put The Fog with it, but I thought, Creepshow's a fun little horror anthology movie. So why don't we do Halloween 3 and Creepshow? So the next Friday, which is June 2nd, will be Joe Bob Appreciation Night. And I will be showing Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the original Evil Dead. Okay. Again, I won't be able to stream these movies, guys, because I don't want to get kicked off here. So we will either have to use our own copies, or I will try to find a link where you can watch it online. Friday, June 9th will be The Devil Made Me Do It night. We will be watching The Exorcist and the original Omen. Friday, June 16th will be Cannibal Night. And I'm planning on showing the animal cruelty free versions of these, or that's what I'm going to be watching. You guys can do whatever on your end, but we will be doing Cannibal Ferox and Cannibal Holocaust that night. Okay. And I am going to be going whole hog into this. I will be doing drive-in totals, just like Joe Bob. I'm planning on having a background that looks kind of like the old Monster Vision set, like that'll be on my green screen. Like I said, I'm planning on just going whole hog into this. Okay. I have also invited Darcy through Twitter. Now, I don't, she's a very busy woman. I may not get a response back from her, but I did send her an invite. I sent her the StreamYard link. I told her that she could just show up if she wanted to on the night that I do this. And she will show up backstage. If she clicks on the link, I will add her, and that will be great. If not, we'll still have fun. But I did want to, invite her just on the off chance that I can get her on here that night. Let me read through some of y'all's comments here. Texas, you say you read about it before the season started. Mayor, you say TikTok is just as bad. My friend got her live stream shut down twice over nothing. Yeah, I mean, people tell you to go to TikTok. They tell you to go to Instagram. They tell you to go here, there, and everywhere else. And, but, at least with me, and this might be the case with some other people, once I get, and it may sound a little lazy of me, and I apologize for that, but once I get situated on a certain platform, I hate to just pick up and move. Every time something's goes screwy, I have to pick up and move again. I don't like to do that, because I'm not a person that likes that chaos, that in between time. And perhaps it may come to that, but I guess I'll stick with YouTube, even though I bitch and moan about it a lot. I'll stay with them, I guess, until I can't stay with them any longer. Mayor, you say I just found out that Shudder is airing the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards tonight. I believe that AMC Plus and some other streaming apps as well. That's pretty cool. Unless what you say, could you talk UB into wearing a wig and co-host? I don't know. I mean, he might be on there with me if I asked, but I don't know that he would wear a wig. Yeah, I've got the Creep Show 4K pre-ordered, Mayor. Oh my Lord, that would get me kicked off here for sure, Texas. You say instead of the Omen, you should have the Devil and Miss Jones. Bliss, what you say, Mayor? I think he could carry wearing a long wig very well. Well, Uncle Bill used to have long hair. Not when I met him for the first time, but when Dead Pit first started. And for a while after that, Uncle Bill did have long hair, and sometimes he'd have it back in a ponytail. But by the time I met him and met CK, he had already cut his hair. Darren, you say sounds like a plan, Dana. Well, thank you very much, Darren. I think I have covered it, Darren, but as far as doing like a watch along for it, I have not. But I think I have like my little review things I do from time to time where I talk about movies that fit a certain theme or whatever. I'm almost sure that I have covered it at one time or another. Okay, so now that I did want to kind of outline some of the upcoming watch alongs too, before I get to the Daily Grindhouse and show off some stuff that I just got in. So May 27th will be Happy Birthday to Me followed on Sunday, May 28th. Now, May 28th is going to be a busy evening, busy night, because I'm going to attempt to do Dazed and Confused on May 28th. Okay. If something changes and I can't do it, I will be sure to let you guys know. Okay. But right now I'm planning on doing that. I will do that one early and make sure that I'm off by like 9:30 Eastern time, because I am supposed to be doing a watch along or a fan commentary for prom night with the Dead Pit Boys. So I don't want to miss out on that. This has been a long time coming. It's something that me and the boys have been discussing for a while, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay. June 3rd is Killer Workout, followed on June 4th with by Death Ball. June 10th will be Bloody Birthday, followed on June 11th with Nightmare on Elm Street 2. So that is the watch alongs I have coming up. That's a little bit of information about the drive-in movie nights I got planned. So now we're going to just dig right into the Daily Grindhouse. So here we go. All right. So let's talk about some stuff. All right. This is stuff that I just got in today. And this first thing I'm going to show you is going to be part of my drive-in movie night. This is my little chalkboard. I got this from Amazon. You can get one too. If you just look up like drive-in movie, what was it? Drive-in movie accessories or something like that. But this is just a little chalkboard that says now showing. And it also comes with these chalk markers. Okay. So you got red, blue, yellow, and white. Okay. And it also can either hang on your wall, or this is probably what I'm going to be using. This is the little stand that you can put it on. Okay. So what I'm going to use this for will be to put the two movies that we're going to be watching that night. So very soon you guys will see Halloween 3 and Creepshow showing up on this now showing. And maybe I can have multiple uses for this thing, because I keep telling Steve I would love, and it may be, way on down the road when we ever get a new house and it's a bigger house, and we can have a movie room, because Steve doesn't like a lot of this stuff cluttering up the living room. He's just like that. So that's one thing I'm going to be using for the drive-in movie nights. Okay. So in addition to that, I got 3 4Ks in today. Have not had a chance to watch them, so I can't speak to the quality of them. Now, one of these I have seen Steve's copy, so I can definitely tell you that the transfer is good on that. Yeah, I did hear that, Mayor. I definitely did hear that. So the first one is, and I know Steve got a copy of this, but this is one of my all-time favorite movies. And so, of course, I had to get the 4K of Dazed and Confused from Criterion. Actually, I didn't buy it directly from Criterion. I got it from Amazon. Um, and it's a cool little package here. You can see the little case inside there. We do have, and I'm thinking that the Blu-ray that came out, I'm pretty sure that it had basically the same stuff in it. So you've got this poster here, Dazed and Confused, little mini poster. And it's got a book with little essays in it and pictures and all of that. So, again, I haven't watched the transfer of this, the 4K transfer, so I can't really speak to that right off. And I don't think Steve has watched his copy of it either. Okay. The next one, I have seen Steve's copy. He's got a Steelbook 4K copy of it, and that is Scream. You know, I'm uneven on the other Scream movies, but the original Scream, I still love this one. And so, of course, again, Steve has a 4K of it, but I needed my own 4K of it. Okay, now Steve's probably going to disagree with me on that. And if he sees this stream, he'll say, why on earth? Okay. The last one I got was the 4K of God Told Me To, put out by Blue Underground. I remember being really, this is a Larry Cohen film, the same guy that did It's Alive and The Stuff and Cue the Winged Serpent and all of this stuff. This also has Richard Lynch in another very creepy role. And you know what is really creepy about this movie is you have several really bad things that happen in a short space of time in this movie. So a rooftop sniper guns down 14 pedestrians on the streets of New York City. A mild-mannered dad takes a shotgun and blows away his wife and children. A cop goes on a sudden shooting spree at the St. Patrick's Day parade. And each of these unlikely killers makes the same dying confession. God told me to. Now, if that isn't chilling, I mean, it's chilling to me just sitting here reading it. So it was extra chilling when I actually watched the film for the first time. And, of course, it's been a few years since I've seen it. And, of course, I haven't watched this 4K yet, so I'll have to get back with you guys on the transfer. So, a now repressed Catholic New York police detective, Tony LoBianco, the honeymoon killers and the French Connection, must uncover another world of deranged faith, alien insemination, and his own unholy connection to a homicidal messiah with a perverse plan for the soul of mankind. This was written, produced, and directed by Larry Cohen. This critically acclaimed cult classic remains one of the most disturbing and thought-provoking horror films of our time. Deborah Raffin of Death Wish 3, Sandy Dennis, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Sylvia Sidney, Beetlejuice, Mike Kellen from Sleepaway Camp, and Richard Lynch from Bad Dreams, and Andy Kaufman, yes, that Andy Kaufman from Taxi, co-star in God Told Me To, now presented a new 4K restoration from the original uncensored negative with Dolby Vision HDR and Dolby Atmos. Sorry. I think I've been saying that because wrong all this time because I was saying Atmos. And every time now I hear people mentioning, they say Atmos. So I think I was probably mispronouncing that. Packed with revealing extras. And I'm just going to talk about the extras really, really quickly here. Disc one has audio commentary with writer and producer director Larry Cohen. There's also a new audio commentary with film historians Steve Mitchell and Troy Howarth. There's theatrical trailers and TV spots. That is the 4K. The Disc 2 is a Blu-ray, which has audio commentary with writer and producer and director Larry Cohen. New audio commentary with film historian Steve Mitchell and Troy Howarth. Heaven and Hell on Earth interview with star Tony LoBianco. Bloody Good Times interview with special effects artist Steve Neal. God Told Me to Bone. New Beverly Q&A with Larry Cohen. Lincoln Center Q&A with Larry Cohen. Theatrical trailers, TV spots, posters, and still gallery. And thank you very much, Blissful, for saying to please hit the thumbs up, and thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. Yes, that's right, Mayor Andy, the intergender wrestling champion Kaufman. Yes, that Andy Kaufman. Okay, so again, I don't know if Uncle Bill is going to show up here tonight. He's a very busy man, as is CK, and a lot of other people. I don't know what that is in my hair. So sorry, guys. Lord knows what it is. But anyway, I got it out there now, I think. But if there's anybody at any point in time that wants to come in here live on this watch along, barring it being a few seconds or whatever before the movie ends, I will be perfectly happy to add you. Ground rules still stand for watch alongs too. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the ground rules, there is a video on my channel where I outline some ground rules. So I'm not going to bore anybody with going over that again. Okay. So, Mary, you say, well, if Uncle Bill doesn't show up, maybe Princess Puffins will. So it looks like we got 12 people in here right now. So I have my Blu-ray queued up to right when the Universal logo is getting ready to pop up here. Okay. I'm seeing like a starry sky there. Okay. So you guys that are going to be watching along tonight, just let me know when you're all queued up and ready to go. And we will get this party started tonight. Okay. And hopefully you guys won't mind me eating my popcorn, drinking my energy drink. And like I said earlier, if I seem a little out of it at certain points in times, it's only because I'm running a little bit of a temp. But I still wanted to do this watch along it because, I like hanging out with you guys. And, when I'm feeling bad, as long as I can sit back here and just kind of watch a movie, it's like I'm watching a movie in the living room, only I'm watching a movie with my friends. And so that makes it even better. And that is why I did not want to miss this watch along tonight. So guys, just let me know when you're all queued up, and I'll keep blabbing away for a little bit about some stuff until everybody that's going to be watching this tonight gets all queued up with either their respective copies or Netflix or whatever you choose to use. Oh man, when you're running a temp, everything just wears you out. Hey, Dirk, you say, hey, everybody, I can't stay. Just had to do a drive by. Hi, bye. Have a good one, y'all. Well, thanks for stopping by, Dirk. I appreciate it. Okay, so Texas, you're queued up. So, Darren, Mayor, Blissful, I don't want to miss anybody in here. If you guys are going to be watching along, just you can give me a thumbs up or whatever, or let me know if you're all queued up and ready to go. If you're not watching, that's perfectly fine too. I mean, you can if you want, Texas. You don't feel obligated to, but you can if you want. Because I don't ever want anybody to feel like they owe me something or they're obligated to come on here. If you want to sit back and just watch the movie and listen to me and whoever talk about it, that is perfectly fine too. Because I know not everybody feels like coming on here live all the time. So, and keep in mind too, these drive-in movie nights I'm going to be having. They're going to be like watch along, so people can come in live on those as well. Okay, Mayor, thanks for stopping by. You say I've got to run. Everyone have a good food fight with Belushi. Okay, Texas. When do you need me to put the link back in there? I'll be glad to do that. Me I'm just taking a little pause here and hold on just a minute. Okay. Just one more second here. There we go. All right. Now back to. Okay, let me put this invite back in there. There we go. I'm putting the link back in there. Darren, you say you haven't got the film, but we'll hang in chat. Darren, do you have Netflix? Because I know Texas said earlier that it is on Netflix. Just in case you wanted to watch it. Okay. So I'm going to add Texas here. Hey, Texas.
Hey there. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. You sound a little bit lower than normal, but I can still hear you.
Let me check my volume here. And all my, devices are lowered, so there won't be any problem.
Well, Texas, again, I don't want you to feel like you were the only one that was. It's happened multiple times with different people. I just didn't want to, point fingers at any one person.
How's that?
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay.
Sounds louder. Okay, Blissful, you say you'll be listening. You're extreme multitasking. I have to do too much of that at work, so I try not to do that on the weekends. Otherwise, I'd be crazier than I already am, uh, unfortunately. Okay. So again, I don't know if Uncle Bill will be in here later. If he does and wants to join, he can join me in Texas and talking about Animal House tonight. Like I said, he surprised me showing up last night because I totally wasn't expecting that, but it was a fun surprise. So I guess we'll go ahead here, and like I said, I'm about 12 seconds in. I'm watching this from a Blu-ray, and it's just before the little Earth comes up there and in the starry looking sky for Universal. So I'm going to do the countdown, and then
All
we'll
right.
go ahead and hit play. Are you still queued up? Okay, Texas.
Yeah, you said you were about 12 seconds in, so I moved it up. Well, I got it up to about 11 seconds, so it's all good. So
Okay, great. So I'll do the countdown, the three, two, one, and then we'll hit play. So three, two, one, press play. Now we're cooking. So now we're seeing, or should be seeing, the Universal and MCA company. Hey TJ, you say just saying hi. Enjoy Delta House. You guys are probably gonna, because I always kind of preface these types of movies by saying my dad kind of introduced me to a lot of these. But let me tell you something. My dad did not introduce me to the rated R versions of these movies. My dad introduced me to the edited for television versions. So um, those versions did not have, there's a scene coming up where the F word is used quite a bit and stuff. And there's nudity and all of that stuff. You see Donald Sutherland's ass, and you know, yeah, just many, many other things.
yeah, there were a few movies that I had to watch the edited for television ones. The like The Exorcist and Carrie,
Mm.
because I wasn't allowed to see them in the theater. But I was too young, and then, well, I didn't think I was, but this one I saw with my mom and a guy that she was dating at the time, so we saw it in the theater.
Oh, so you got to see it, complete and uncut
Yeah.
first time around. Yeah, this one and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, all of that stuff. National Lampoon's Vacation. The first time I saw all of those types of movies, they were edited for television. And I remember, I think I may have told this story before, that my dad for years had seen National Lampoon's Vacation on television. So then when our family finally got a VCR, we rented it. And my dad was like, "Oh my gosh." Because Beverly D'Angelo is in the shower, or
Right.
and just different. There's just different things going on, and Dad was like, "I didn't know all this stuff was in here," you know. But that was only because he had, all his prior viewings of it had been on television. Now, the guy there with the two pledges, Niedermeyer, that's Mark Metcalf. And I don't know how many of you guys have seen. You might have seen it when I did a watch along, but the Final Terror. He was the head guy that was taking all the young people out in the woods for that little camping trip.
I think I remember it. I think I bought that because from watching it with you and stuff. I
Oh,
think
okay.
because or
Oh,
maybe it's fine. I bought a bunch of stuff and I don't even remember which ones I have.
so these these guys are getting kind of shuffled off with the other, I guess, undesirable pledges. And he even says, Greg even says here, the guy in this plaid suit or plaid jacket. And there's Kevin Bacon, by the way,
Yeah.
very young Kevin Bacon. But they even say something about let the unacceptable candidates worry about that because after tonight there, and then he sees Kent, and he kind of stops himself. And they really don't want Kent and his friend or his roommate to be mixing with these well, they think they're upper crust. So he's making Kent go back over there with the other guys. But they haven't found the deltas yet, but they're going to really soon. But I think if I was a guy and I was wanting to pledge a fraternity, even though these guys are all wild and crazy and stuff, I think this would be the fraternity that I'd want to pledge to. Man, just seeing Belushi in this, I wish that the tragic thing that happened to Belushi did not happen because I can only imagine what he would have been doing even now. Um, because he was a great force to be, I'm talking about a comedic force to reckon with. He was one of the greats. So even, but even the Deltas, though, don't much care for Kent. Kent's kind of like an outsider everywhere. Yeah, TJ, I didn't see that before. Kevin Bacon before the Arrow incident. Yeah. Hey, Gory Tiger. And the lovely Karen Allen. I love Karen Allen. I
I
don't
think
care what
she's
anybody.
I think she's fantastic in The Wanderers.
She's been fantastic in everything I see her in, and she's got such
Well, that's true.
a unique, like she's got girl next door beauty. Um, but I don't need all that. When I look at actresses on screen, I don't need all that just ultimate glamour type of stuff. I would rather watch somebody like Karen Allen and really watch her work, her acting skills and stuff. And there's Tim Matheson at his ass there. I almost forgot we see his ass too. And the other
Something
guy, oh sorry, Texas, go
well, I was
ahead.
just going to say something I hadn't watched in decades. I watched it last year was Magnum Force, and I forgot that Tim Matheson was in that.
Yep, he sure is. The other guy in the room is Peter Riegert. I
Yeah.
might be pronouncing it wrong,
No, that's right.
but I like him too. I think it, especially in this movie, he just complements Tim Matheson really, really well. And of course, they got the dildo out now. See, this is all this stuff that you would not see on television. And there's the character of D-Day. And only a fraternity like Delta would have a sex room and have it labeled as such. I don't know anybody that can do that.
Me either. That's like, what?
So he has to come over there and tell the two other guys, oh, Kent's a legacy, because they were kind of like not really picking on him, but Karen Allen just flipped him off, flipped the character Boone off. And he's your normal red-blooded American male. He's young. His main focus is sex with his girlfriend. I mean, but she wants more. And I don't think this guy has reached that point in his life where he's ready to do that. That probably wouldn't that phrase that she just said probably would not get used in a movie now. That would
Probably
probably
not.
not be acceptable. There's the great John Vernon there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen John Vernon put in a bad performance. And John Vernon is nobody's friend. I think John Vernon's characters hate everybody.
Pretty much. Especially like the way he was when Blissful and I watched Killer Clowns. He's such
Oh,
a
yeah.
asshole cop.
Yeah, he's been asshole cop. He's been an asshole dean, asshole principal in Savage Streets.
Oh yeah. That's about the only one though where he kind of, even though he was an asshole, he kind of had to be because that school was so rough.
It was bad, yeah. So I love, I love the way that they kind of induct people into this fraternity. And even these guys don't want Kent Dorfman until Tim Matheson gets up here and does his thing. And the stork, I believe that is Doug Kenny, who was one of the big writers for National Lampoon.
Yeah, I
Um,
believe you're right.
and I I was under the impression that Doug Kenny, maybe it was an accident, but I've heard interviews where people that knew him were talking about it, and the way that they talked about it was like he killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
He fell off a cliff or something like that.
Yeah, there's a like a biopic on him on here about on Netflix about him being starting the magazine and all that,
Hmm.
and then the movies and stuff. But then there's a actual documentary that's really good. I'll find the name out for you, and but it's they're both interesting. But yeah, they pretty much say that he killed himself because his glasses were left on the cliff.
Yeah, and if he fell by accident, that wouldn't have been the case.
Right.
But I believe that um, it must have been this way. If, for those of you that have watched Multiplicity, um, the main character is named Doug Kenny. Michael Keaton's character is Doug Kenny, and that has to be a tribute or something to the real Doug Kenny. Again, I would just like to say, no matter what people may think of John Landis and the mistakes that were made on Twilight Zone the movie, John Landis made some incredibly entertaining movies over the years.
Yeah, he certainly did.
I really never understood the paddling of potential, people that are pledging, not just to fraternities, but I've seen in movies that there were paddles in connection with sororities, and I just never understood that very much. And even if you watch Dazed and Confused, the incoming freshmen, they were paddled, or at least the boys were. And there's Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland's dad. Although I always thought Kiefer was a lot better looking than his dad.
You've seen Don't Look Now, though, right?
Oh yeah.
That movie is just bizarre. It's really good, though. I loved it.
I love it. It is very disturbing though.
Yeah,
Um, and it's not one that Steve will readily watch. He just flat out says he does not really want to watch that movie. I think he's seen it maybe once, maybe twice. Um, but yeah, and I'm not sure, it does have something to do with the death of a child, and it is really emotionally charged pretty much throughout the movie.
right.
Um, and I had always heard, and again, I don't know how true this is. This might just be one of those urban legends that went around for years. If anybody knows for sure, you can put in the chat, text us if you've got some information. But I think that this was the movie that the rumor was that Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie actually had sex in the ones.
Yeah, I, or it was, yeah, very realistic or whatnot. Yeah,
Right. So again, I don't know. It's been a little while since I've watched it, so I'm a little fuzzy on the sex scene right now. So
yeah.
check out those pants on Tim Matheson. I like that because Tim Matheson says he can't do that to our pledges, and then Boone says, "Only we can do that to our pledges." Yeah, Mark Metcalf as Niedermeyer is really sadistic in this, but he's another really good actor because he can be sadistic like he is here. And then in The Final Terror, he was just kind of like this goofball leader of this ragtag bunch of young people. I always, I always like that scene. This whole scene, though, is just great here in
It
just a
is.
second. the the horse gets hit on the butt with the golf ball, I believe. Blissful says, I swear this movie reminds me of my dad and his friends. He was exactly like Bluto. I bet your dad was fun then. So Boone's wanting Katie to to fix Pinto Larry up with a girl. And he just comes out right out and says that Pinto's never been laid. So, oh yeah, they're gonna get high with Donald Sutherland here. I find this scene very amusing.
Yeah.
But this look that Donald Sutherland has here in a little bit is It's kind of creepy, but funny too. I think it might be like when he pulls the shades and he's locking the door. It's like people wouldn't do this now, though. They wouldn't lock the door and all that stuff. They probably wouldn't pull the shades. There's the way that look there is so crazy.
They're in the bathtub and stuff. That's so
Uh-huh.
good.
I think a lot of people nowadays, and it's probably has something to do with a lot of states making it legal to smoke weed. Um, and that's probably why people are more open about it. Whereas back in the 60s, when this movie's supposed to take place, people did have to keep it secret pretty much. And now, now they're saying it. I remember, and you guys are probably going to think I'm weird, but I remember having a cassette tape a long time ago that had that song on it that they're singing.
I had a 4 disc record set that was advertised on TV, and it was given to me by one of my mom's coworkers because for some reason she had bought one, and she told him that this one song, it skipped or whatever, and then they just sent her
Mhm.
another one. But then I think it was she needed a new needle or something, so she did
Uh,
got it, and then she wound up giving the other set to my mom to give to me, and it had that on it, a whole bunch of songs from the 60s. I love that
mhm.
set. It was really good.
This conversation they have while they're high about the universe and like, and then he says, "Yeah, could I buy some pot from you?" Somehow I don't think pot ever made anybody enlightened. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it just got them stoned. You may have thought you were enlightened at the time, but I don't. I don't really think pot does that. It's kind of like on Almost Famous when when he's talking to William about, he said it used to be on speed and
Right.
he would stay up all night long writing page after page of stuff, and he said it was dribble, and I
When
think.
he was talking about writing the dissertations on Coltrane,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, because he was drinking cough syrup.
And also he said he used to do speed and then stay up all night, and but the stuff the next morning would be nonsensical, but
Right.
that night he would think he was writing the greatest thing ever. And so I think sometimes, not only with harder stuff like speed and stuff, but if somebody is smoking pot, and you guys that are, I mean, I hate to say somebody's a regular pot smoker, but if you do smoke pot on a regular basis and you disagree with me on that, feel free to put stuff in the chat. But I just feel like people probably under the influence of any type of drug might think that whatever they're saying is the grandest thing in the world, and then when you come to yourself the next day or whatever. I mean, alcohol's the same, because there have been times when I drink a little bit too much, and not that I thought that I was saying anything really profound or anything, but
Right.
I think my perception of the way things might have been going at the time, like I was having a good time, yeah, but it might have been a little bit overblown of exactly how good a time I was having. Because I think just things just get a little slanted when you're under the influence of anything. So, I love animals, and I don't like to see even simulated harm come to animals in the movies, but this scene is just so funny because they make Kent think that he's going to be shooting and killing that horse, but there are blanks in the gun.
Right.
But what happens when he doesn't even shoot the horse, he shoots it up in the air. Um, and that horse obviously does not like him. And I see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to give Kent some confidence because he doesn't have any. But the way they pause that, and then the look on these guys' faces, they're like, "Oh shit!" And Bluto just keeps saying, "Holy shit," just over and over again. So now we've got the mayor who's basically telling the dean, if you want to have a, and then we got the dead horse in the background, which makes it even better. But he's basically telling you got to pay me money if you want to have a homecoming parade in my town.
Yeah.
I'm convinced this dude has ties to the mob or something.
Yeah.
Wow. John Burnham might think he has those boys where he wants them, but oh my gosh. And then the chainsaw. Okay. Coming up is one of my favorite scenes in this movie. And I've got a lot of favorite scenes in this movie, but Belushi just, nobody else could do this scene like him, I don't think, and pull it off. And so Tim Matheson's character is trying to get back with Mandy, who obviously Mandy doesn't want anything to do with him. She's moved on to Greg. Now here's a way that you can get the most bang for your buck if you're having to pay for all the food that you're getting in the college cafeteria. Take a lesson from Bluto here. Because not only is he piling up his tray, he's stuffing extra stuff in his pockets, he's eating some stuff along the way. Now, here's a way you eat Jell-O, guys. Sorry, guys, again, if you hear Brandon bumping around in here, trust me, no ghosties in here tonight, or I don't think there are. Just keep your hands and feet away from his mouth. Goodness gracious, Brandon. Now this
I
is
am now.
this is the best. So obviously, Tim Matheson knew what he was going to do. This is the great food fight scene, too, by the way. But yet again, even though there's cursing and there's nudity and all of that in this movie, I still think movies like Animal House are still more innocent than the stuff that comes out now. Oh, and this is just lovely. But she has to give him a hand job. They can't just have sex. And number two, he can't even get excited with his girlfriend giving him a hand job. It's like, what in the world is wrong with this picture? I don't know of any guy, any male on the planet that wouldn't be getting something out of that. I guess that's why it's so funny. Too, she's got the latex gloves on.
And everything.
So we're coming up on another great scene with John Belushi, which is going to be the ladder scene.
Yeah, this was when I saw it in the theater, and the only thing, like, my mom, because she hadn't seen it either, but she's just like, close your eyes. And I'm like, no,
Crypt Sweeper makes a good point. He says, you have to wonder when the inevitable remake of this comes along. There have been thousands of copies, but a direct remake has to be in our near future.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're remaking everything else. So I've seen they remade White Men Can't Jump. I was like, why? Why would you
Yeah.
remake that? You know, in all my years on this planet, maybe there's something wrong with me. I have never had a topless pillow fight with some other ladies. And two, we're going to find out that um, Mandy is very frustrated because she's not getting anything out of her relationship with Greg, obviously. John Belushi breaking the fourth wall there a little bit.
Hmm.
And this is guys and gals, this is a scene that takes its time. It really, it lingers on this for a little bit. Liz, will you say I'm older than you? And in all my misadventures, I've never done that. Yeah, so Blissful's never had a topless pillow fight with some other ladies either. So, oh, those old mimeograph machines, man, don't have those anymore. And maybe that's why, from what we just saw, where Kevin Bacon's character was stealing the test. And replacing it with another one, which unfortunately the Deltas are going to get a hold of. Guys, excuse me for just one moment. Brandon's being really noisy, so I'm going to go check on him.
Okay.
So now they found out that every one of the answers on the psych test were wrong. Oh no. And guess who comes in? John Vernon. Boy, John Vernon, he speaks eloquently, doesn't he? He said they were going to be out there like shit through a goose. wonder if colleges have double secret probation, or if that's just made up. So they're going to have a toga party. They don't care that they're in trouble. Texas, you got very quiet. Are you still here?
No, I died for just a couple of minutes, but I'm back.
Okay. I was like, Texas is very quiet.
No, I'm fine. Everything's good.
And Karen Allen, just so cute. So they're going to end up going in. Well, it's not Kent's car, but it is his brother Fred's car. So they're going to go to the Food King. Sorry, guys. I just got this tickle in my throat all of a sudden. So they're doing a little shoplifting here.
This is one of my favorite lines by Peter Rieger. I think it's Peter,
Yeah.
or no, Tim Matheson. I'm sorry. I love that when he meets the dean's wife and all that.
Oh my gosh, yes. Talks about the cucumber.
Mhm.
There it is. He just says mine's bigger than that. And this stuff with the dean's wife sort of reminds me of The Graduate, only with The Graduate, the guy wasn't trying so hard to get the woman. The woman was coming on to him, and it wasn't. This one's a two-way street. They're both coming on to each other. You still want to show me your cucumber? He kind of backs off a little bit when he finds out she's the dean's wife, but my gosh, he looks like he's gained, 20 pounds or something. Look how cheap everything was, by the way,
Yeah.
guys. 39 cents a package for celery, 39 cents for a pound for squash. You don't see those prices anymore. And this girl is going to turn out to be the mayor's daughter, which makes it even worse. I think Otter, Tim Matheson's character, I think he wants to have sex with every girl he comes into contact with. And how Kent got this girl, I'll never know. Oh boy. Otter's got eyes for her now. Oh, here's another funny.
Yeah. Stephen Bishop.
Obviously, Bluto does not like this.
Yeah, I totally would have done this myself.
He was like, I got to make this stop. And he's just like, sorry. So evidently, this girl goes to quite a few fraternity parties because she mentions having a lot of catching up to do there. Yeah, she says, thanks, got a lot of catching up to do. Oh, Otis Day and the Nights. Here we go.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
And what's even better is later on when they go to the this club and they're the only white people there, and Otis Day and the Nights are playing.
Apparently, these guys were an actual real band.
Yeah, I think I looked them up before. I love watching John Belushi in
Oh yeah.
this scene. It's great. That's why I think nowadays Saturday Night Live doesn't have the same amount of punch, I guess, as it did back when Belushi was on there, Chevy Chase was on there, Eddie Murphy, all those guys. I just think that was when Saturday Night Live was in its prime.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very rare that now you actually get a decent, episode. I mean, when they had Betty White host it, that was really good.
Hmm. But Steve doesn't watch it so much anymore. But there for a time he would record Saturday Night Live and watch it like the next day or whatever. And I told him, I said, Saturday Night Live just isn't what it used to be. Um, and I'm not saying it's horrible or anything. I'm just saying that they had the best people back when that show first started. And I left out Bill Murray. Bill Murray was another one that was great. So Mrs. Wormer did show up and she's drunk. So we know where that's going. Now here's a scene that would not have gotten shown on television or not complete,
Right.
this whole thing. Um, because we're going to have the little devil and little angel that's going to come up around Larry, and the devil's telling him, basically to take advantage of her while she's passed out. Oh, this is great. Pouring the mustard on himself. But Larry's going to get a little bit of a surprise here, too, because this girl appears to have to be more well endowed, I guess, than she actually is. That's a heck of a room.
Yeah.
That room has, you're going to get laid tonight all over it. It's got it written all over that room. And Tim Matheson's got a bar in there and everything. He's ready. I'm just wondering, do all guys have, you guys don't have to answer like specifics or anything, but I'm just wondering, do all guys have trouble with bras? I mean, obviously they don't wear bras, so, but every movie where a guy is, he's always having to battle with the girl's bra.
A few times in my younger days, sure.
So, but Larry is like twisting this damn thing. And he says, I think it's locked or something. So usually it's up to the girl to get you to unfasten it usually.
She just throws her gum across the room.
Yeah. Oh, so here's where he gets the little bit of a shock. I mean, her boobs are okay. I guess they're decent size. Well, here's the devil. Hmm.
They shouldn't have had that squeaky ass voice.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's another thing that the little statue out front there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think those things would be kosher anymore either.
No.
I always like this scene too when her dad opens the door. So then he blames it on John Vernon, and as we're going to see, John Vernon is dealing with his own problems. Local teenager molested. Mrs.
Yeah.
Larmer's going to vacation in Sarasota Springs. She's probably going to dry out. I love the outfit that Karen Allen has on here. I love those. I love those skirts, and I love that sweater. That combination, I just absolutely love. And you could get away with wearing something like that now. A woman could because things are, like back in the 80s and stuff like that. We had certain clothes for certain times. Now I think it's wear whatever you want to wear.
Right.
And nobody's going to pay any attention. One thing I think that colleges should never do is let these really, I guess, super popular people be on a disciplinary committee.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell John Vernon's obviously wanting to get this over with, and it's going to be in their favor no matter what way, no matter what they say or do. Or well, as I said earlier, they're not going to let these guys talk.
That I used that in high school one time when there was one of our teachers was out and we had a substitute who we had to take this major test, and this girl had finished the test and she was like a straight A student, and this one
Mhm.
girl probably shouldn't have done it, but all she did was say, "Did you get such and such for this answer?" And then the teacher flipped the hell out and it's like,
Uh-huh.
"That's it," and grabbed the girl's test. It's like, "You're cheating." And she didn't, I mean, she didn't even do anything and she tore up her test and everything. And
Oh,
so then we
wow.
had to watch a film afterwards. And so we kept, we would do that. It was like me and a bunch of others. I mean,
Disrupting.
but it was like the whole class actually was so pissed off at it because I mean the girl literally did nothing, and it
Mhm.
wasn't the girl that even asked her the question. It was ridiculous, and we were like blowjob, and stuff, and then and then she'd say, "Who said that?" And then somebody else is like, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
That was
Um,
one of those rare moments where the whole class was just totally in unison with each other, and it was great.
so that, I mean, that is evidently as evident by you mentioning that story that that's a real thing that happens in classes. It never happened in any of my classes. The only thing some people did in my high school classes is they would give substitute teachers hell. And sometimes it was warranted and sometimes it wasn't. But I think in y'all's case that was totally warranted.
Yeah.
Um, but I've seen that in summer school. I've seen it in the Breakfast Club, um, where they'll start humming or something, and somebody will say, stop that humming," and then somebody else will pick up after that, and they'll blame it on one person. They'll say, "I'm not humming. I hear that now, and it's very annoying." So yeah, that is always funny.
I had a teacher when I went to technical school in photography, and he was like that. Somebody would whistle, and he's like, "Who's that whistling?" And stuff. He's like, "You better stop," and like, it's like, what the. You think this weirdo.
Oh, so now the guys are really, they're taking all their stuff out of the house. And he says they confiscated all the stuff, even the stuff we didn't steal. And then Blue Dog's going crazy because he said they took the whole bar. But give him some Jim Beam. He's okay now. Good Lord. I don't know. Can anybody do that with Jim Beam?
Not that I know of.
So, yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to get a bunch of beer and take a road trip. And they're going to take Kent's brother's car on this road trip. And Kent's begging them not to take it. Fred wants his car back on Sunday. Okay, now when they go to pick up these girls at this other college, I mean this is really bad. What they do, because Fawn Leibowitz is a college or a sorority girl at this Emily Dickinson College that died. And so Tim Matheson's character of Otter is going to go up in here and act like he's meeting Fawn for a date and that he doesn't know she's dead. And um, I mean, it's a great setup, but like, I don't know who would do this. Texas, do you know anybody that's ever done this as a desperate way to
No,
get a
not
date?
at all.
And another thing, the Fawn's roommate that ends up going out on a date with Otter, she's so dense, she's so dumb that she can't figure out what he's doing. And when he comes on to her and wants to have sex with her, she's like, okay, you know, it's like she doesn't care. Makes you wonder how many times Otter has done this to get.
There was a weird thing though. I had this friend and I was staying over at his house. It was like during the summer after my 8th grade year. I had been visiting my great grandparents, so I was hanging out with him for a few days. And so we were looking at his, junior high yearbooks or whatever. And he was like, he said he liked this one girl. And I said, well, why don't you call her? And and he was too afraid, and this, I mean, this was totally fucked. But so I said, okay, I'll call. And like, we couldn't get an answer. And so then I said, well, do you have, any other friends? And he goes, yeah, call this girl. So I called this girl and I told her who I was. And I said, I told her, I said, my friend Charles. And she goes, oh yeah. And I said, well, we were trying to get a hold of Missy, I think was her name. And she kind of just paused and she goes, Missy was killed in a car accident a couple of months ago. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
Oh my God, like, I'm really sorry to hear that and stuff, and then I talked to this girl for a little bit and then I hung up and I had to tell my friend, well, yeah, she's kind of dead, and it was fucked up.
Wow. So I don't know what happened with Kent and his steady girl, Sissy.
Right.
But he's looking like, ooh, I'm going to get some action tonight. They got these new girls. Okay, so here's where they show up at this club where they're the only white people there.
Yeah, I love this scene. And just the fact when he introduced that song and then he's like, okay, hit it.
Yeah. And then when they and Boone is like, wait till Otis sees us, and it's like,
yeah,
but there's all black people, and I'm not trying to sound racist, but literally they are the only white people in here.
Yeah.
And everybody just stops what they're doing and looks at them, including Otis. And Tim Matheson says, we are gonna die.
Yeah.
And that chick's looking at him like, who in the hell are these people? So I don't know that much about alcohol drinks except for the stuff I drink, but I don't know what he just ordered, what that is, but a double rock and rye and something.
Seven Carlings. I have no idea what that is.
Oh man, Tim Matheson's smooth here. But again, the girl he's with, Fun's roommate, is just, she's got to be, for a girl that's going to college, she's got a dim bulb somewhere.
Right?
I mean, it's okay to be sympathetic, but I mean, it doesn't take her long to take her top off and everything else is insane. It's like she don't even know this guy. Really? You know, sometimes when you hear people say what they're majoring in on these movies, you wonder what kind of, you know, if this had been real, what kind of career would they have had? Um, she's studying primitive cultures. I mean, was she going to be a professor? You know?
Don't you get the joke?
Yeah, I mean, I get the joke, but
Okay.
but I've heard other like other movies where they've asked what their major is, and it's some off the wall major. Um, and you just wonder, like I've known people in real life that their major has been just so off the wall that you wonder how they're going to get a job when they get out of college.
Right.
Yeah, that the primitive cultures line probably wouldn't get used either nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, and here come these guys. These girls obviously don't want to dance with these guys. But evidently, these guys are not taking no for an answer.
I love the fact he can just rip the fucking table out of the
No,
thing and doesn't spill any drinks.
this is funny too. And even like after all this happens, where that girl has to jump topless into another car
Right.
and everything, she still says when all the girls are walking home or walking back to the college by themselves and the other girls were like they were just awful, and she said, I don't know, and this is where it is, I don't know, I think Frank was sweet or nice or something. The other girls are like, ew. Yeah, Frank was kind of cute. And she felt sorry for him. It's like the lights are on, but nobody is home with that girl. Okay, so now Boone is trying to get a hold of Katie. He can't get her. Wonder where she is or what she's doing. I mean, what is so special about Greg? He's a doofus.
He's got that hair that you could land an airplane on.
Hmm. So Fred's car is pretty much destroyed. And Boone's going to leave and go try to find Katie. This old crime scene with Kent, though, is hilarious. And then Bluto tries to, make him laugh, but nothing's working. Now, crushing a beer can on your head is not even going to make him laugh. Breaking a beer bottle on your head is not going to make him laugh. I like that. You fucked up. You trusted us. They kind of did a similar thing in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where the car gets destroyed, and they make it look like the opposing football team messed it up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a shock for him. This is more of Donald Sutherland than I needed to see, though, here in a second. I think Greg's got some major anger issues.
Yeah, he does.
I would not want to work for John Vernon. Even though he does give her a little kiss there.
Seems like it made her day and probably her whole year.
Probably. Uh-oh. So this is not going to end well for Otter here. They are literally going to beat the shit out of him. Here's another one of my favorite scenes. Of course, this movie is just chock full of them. 0.2. Fat, drunk, and stupid. No way to go through life. This one is the best, though. 0.0. Yeah, this was a very dangerous time to be being expelled from college if you were able.
Right.
You're gonna wish you hadn't said that. Okay, so now Greg has got a new girl, Babs, and he's having her do the same thing that Mandy was doing. And he's still, I mean, she's getting nowhere with him the same way that Mandy was not getting anywhere with him. The Peace Corps.
Do you remember when they did that series of this, but it didn't really go anywhere?
I think I remember it briefly. But you know, even now when they're doing show like they made a show from Fatal Attraction, they made a show from Dead Ringers. I just don't think that those have the same kind of impact that the movies did. And you know, like with Fatal Attraction, I don't understand where they think they're going to go with that. How can you
Right.
make a show
I
that
mean, I've heard good things about the Dead Ringer show, but
it was okay? I did watch one or two episodes of that.
I'm just not really. I mean, to be honest, don't hate me for this, but I never really liked that movie at all.
Mm, it was not. I'll say it's not my favorite Cronenberg thing.
Yeah, that's about what I'll say too.
Yeah. Um, but it was okay. It was interesting for a watch, and then I can wait a little while and then watch it again. But it's not one that I want to watch over and over like some of his other stuff.
I mean, I think Shivers is way better than that one.
Yeah. I mean, Cronenberg though had so much good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not knocking him at all. I'm just saying that I don't know. I mean, because I even saw it when it first came out, and I just was I don't know. I was just like, okay, because I love Existence. I thought that was great.
hmm So here's where Bluto gives his big speech, which is great. I think this revenge that they plot out is great too. So they're about to make Fred's car into the Deathmobile. So Larry's about to get another shock here very shortly after he breaks the window out of the house. And she calls him Tommy and not Larry. Might get lucky without the beer. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't find that believable because she obviously looks older, way older than 13.
Yep.
But that was just so hilarious. That probably wouldn't get done today either. He just says no to that guy. Is it okay if my kid stands in front of you? No. But this is the only thing I get mad at Karen Allen's character about in this is her having the affair with
Right.
Sutherland and then just coming back on the scene like, where's Boone? Like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's a big deal, getting to blow the whistle for the parade. Oh boy. I've been to a lot of parades in my time, but nothing like what's going to happen here shortly. Nobody would be able to get away with this at a parade now. Like, even
Nope.
if it was like an innocent, you know, pretty innocent joke or prank or whatever, um, just because people are just on high alert now. 'Cause there's been so many bad things that have happened at public, events. I love this though. I don't think that this would happen, but this is just so hilarious. You're telling me nobody's noticing him doing this? It's like,
Yeah, I know. It's like, what the hell? But it's like it reminds me kind of that parade scene in Student Bodies too.
oh yeah, that's saying thank you, God. Yeah, they're breaking all kinds of laws here. Get up, you faggots. Yeah, that probably wouldn't get said in a movie either.
No.
There's so much stuff that's not PC.
And that's so funny how that's supposed to be the mayor or whatever, and it looks like John Kennedy. I guess it is actually because it says Camelot on it.
Mm. I love this. Kevin Bacon's like, all is well. He's screaming.
Yeah. Eat me. I love that.
And here is the appearance of the Deathmobile. And guys, believe it or not, we don't have too much longer to go on this movie. This is a little bit longer movie than usually I show. But I think it went pretty fast just because this is an entertaining movie. Complete chaos. You gotta love that too. Kevin Bacon flattened on the street. I love these the end credits when it tells what the future held for these people. This boy who molested me last month. So Otter's gonna get his revenge. Yeah, he was a Nixon White House aide, and then he got raped in prison. So, and of course, Eric Stratton became a gynecologist. Niedermeyer means to kill him, I think. I mean, it's not funny, really, but killed in Vietnam by his own troops. I mean, within the context of this movie, it's funny. They don't know where he is. Why are they picking on Boone? I guess he was the only one they could get a hold of. Yeah, they were married for a few years and got divorced.
Right.
Now, this is definitely the most unlikely pairing in the whole movie.
Mm.
So he became a senator. Um, yeah, and that picture there, that still picture of all the guys, that's got to be one of the greatest in movie history, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And there were so many, like, I mean, even if they weren't big names then, they definitely have become big names over the years. Like for instance, Tim Matheson. Tim Matheson has had a pretty great career.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we started out kind of strong, Texas, with quite a few people in here. Now we've only got three, and I think one of the three is you, because I don't know if it's just because it's Sunday and people weren't really in it for the long haul, or um,
Well, we
like,
had some drive-bys too, so
mhm. Yeah, we had some people that just stopped in to say hey, but they couldn't stay. Um, and like I said, I wasn't sure if Dead Pit was doing sometimes they do things on Sundays, and I wasn't sure if they were doing anything or not, which is perfectly fine. If I had to make a choice between my stuff and Dead Pit, I would definitely go with Dead Pit.
oh, now stop that.
Mm. So actually, John Belushi got to perform a number in this, Money. Blissful says, I'm not tattling, but 71 did a drive by and threw a Cheeto at me.
Nah.
So, guys, that was Animal House. I would imagine most people have seen Animal House, but if there are any of you guys that were in here at any point in time that had not seen it before, I hope you enjoyed it. For those of you that have seen it, I hope you enjoyed, revisiting it again. Uh, I hope Texas had a good time revisiting it.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, so
And guys, normally I would stay on here quite a bit afterwards, but because I am running a temp, uh, I think I'm going to have to call it a night early tonight. I know it's only 9:39. You're probably thinking, "Geez, Dana, you're getting old."
no.
But it is Sunday too, and most of us have work tomorrow. And I don't like to keep people on here too awfully late. Well, thank you, Blissful. I am going to try to get some rest. I have some stuff, medicine that I've never tried. This medicine because I've never tried Theraflu even, but this is like off-brand Theraflu, and it helps me get some rest. And it also, seems to help my symptoms. The aching, the fevers, all of that stuff. So, um, thank you, Texas,
No,
for
you're
putting
welcome.
that in the chat. Um, but I want to thank Texas for being on here with me tonight, especially since Uncle Bill's old ass didn't show up for this, and I kind of thought he would, but I can't. I can't really fault him too much because he did show up out of the blue last night. So, and we had a really good discussion. I don't think we talked about the movie as much as we could have, but it was a nice, friendly conversation, and I didn't hear anybody complaining last night.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I was disappointed that I didn't get to see that because I didn't know Jennifer Jason Leigh was in it because I would have loved to have seen that. There's a bunch of
Mhm.
movies of her on Criterion right now, and I've been catching up with some that I haven't seen, and then some that that gone back to watch.
Mhm.
But
I
I've
mean,
never seen that one. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, no, no, no. Jennifer Jason Leigh, as I said last night when Uncle Bill and I were talking, is an incredible actress, and she was so young in
Hmm.
that movie, and just did an incredible job. And I hope, Texas, that you can get to see that at some point in time. Um, I hated it that I couldn't find a free link, and I think you even looked, and all of them
Yeah.
wanted you to pay for it. Um, and it's kind of rare when I can't find a link to them, but both of these movies I couldn't find a free link to, which I'm not really surprised by Animal House, but I was a little bit surprised that I couldn't find a free link for Eyes of a Stranger. Um, because I would think that that would be a little, Animal House to me has more visibility than Eyes of a Stranger, but go figure. I can't figure out why. Certain movies that I think I won't be able to find for free on YouTube, I find. And other, a little bit more obscure films that I think definitely should be on there are not. So it's odd sometimes.
It is.
I Blissful, you are right. UB could make an insurance convention fund.
That's such an excellent comment. And then the one about him wearing the wig, that's great too.
I mean, I will. He might surprise me, but I just don't think that I'm going to get him to wear a wig. He might come on some of these drive-in movie night things with me, but it'll be Sans wig, I think. In any case, but really. I mean, guys, don't hold your breath, but I'm really hoping that Darcy gets back in touch with me, because I would, here's here's a chance for me to have her on. We're gonna be not streaming because I don't want to get in trouble, but we're all gonna be watching Halloween 3 and Creep Show. And those of you that watched the last drive-in know that Darcy loves Halloween 3. She's been wanting them to show Halloween 3 on the last drive-in forever. And so far, I guess they can't Shutter can't get the rights, or something's going on with that.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that one. That's a weird thing that they've never had that at all,
Hmm. And
as
it's
far as I
just
know.
it's not like nobody wants to get it. It's almost like there's something preventing them from getting it. And it's like it's very weird because Shutter's even had the original Halloween on there.
Hmm.
And to not be able to get Halloween 3 is just very odd. Um, but yeah, Blissful, I've known Uncle Bill for since we've been talking, like through chats. We met each other in person, and stuff like that since like 2009. Him and CK both, and I consider them both really good friends, and they are really great guys and very entertaining. And if you run across anybody that's never heard of Dead Pit and they're into horror movies, or just if they're into good entertainment, I always try to get people turned on to Dead Pit. I'm like, have you heard of Dead Pit? And, some people have, some people haven't. So, yeah, but both of those guys are very entertaining, very knowledgeable, and all of that. So, but yeah, I think it's time for this gal to get off of here for the night, because I'm starting to really feel the effects of this sinus infection or whatever it is, and I'm still fighting. I don't know how I'm going to do at work tomorrow, but it's one of those things where you have a limited number of days that you can take off. And I think I'm just going to have to power through it and just keep working. So, anyway, with all that being said, I am going to skedaddle on out of here for the night, and I will see everyone on the flip side. You have a good night, Texas. Everybody in the chat that's left, you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys next time.
All right. Talk to you later, Dana.
Bye bye.